The Zambia Travel Expo ZATEX is back. Stronger, more connected, more impactful. Welcome to ZATEX 2026 from June 4th to the 6th, where opportunity meets authenticity. Driven by the spirit of Zambia moves you. This premier event once again brings together global tourism buyers, investors, and tourism leaders to one of Africa's most compelling destinations. On June 4th, make meaningful interactions with tourism buyers at the Buyers Day, curated business-to-business engagements. On June 5th, join us at the ZATEX official opening to be officiated by President Hakainde Hichilema. On June 6th, Consumer Day, a vibrant showcase of culture, travel experiences, and live entertainment. ZATEX 2026 is back, showcasing the very best of Zambia. Register at www.zatex.org. ZATEX 2026, building authentic and sustainable tourism through partnerships.
Thursday, May 28th, 2026. Welcome to the Crown TV Grand News. We're live on DSTV channel 277, on GOTV channel 23, and on Topstar channel 89. We're also live on the Star Times application, on Facebook, as well as YouTube as Crown TV Zambia. To present the Grand News this evening, my name is Rachael Chipwende. The headlines. KASAMA residents in water blues. Inflation continues to drop. Continued withdrawal of candidates from electoral race, robbing citizens of alternative choices. And in sports news, Copa Princesses arrive in Lubumbashi ahead of their second FIFA Women's World Cup qualifying tie. The Grand News in detail. In KASAMA's Mulenga Hills 1, 2, and 3, water is arriving like a thief in the night and suddenly become a luxury that the local people can no longer afford. For weeks, residents have been forced to wait until midnight just to fill a bucket with a water utility only providing water between 23 and 03 before cutting off the supply. Speaking during traditional Insaka meeting, Mulenga Hills village headman Mukuka Mubanga Mwamba says erratic water supply has left families going for days without water. Headman Mulenga has charged that parents are walking through the night, children are missing school to fetch water, and basic chores such as cooking and bathing have become a daily struggle. Wellington Chanda has more in the following report.
23 hours.
In Mulenga Hills 1, 2, and 3, water no longer follows the rhythm of daily life. It arrives in the dark when most families are asleep. Residents say the taps only burst to life around midnight, run until 3 a.m., and are cut off again by 6 a.m., leaving households struggling to collect enough water for cooking, cleaning, and drinking. During community meetings held under the Insaka tradition, Mulenga village headman Mukukamu Mwamba described the toll on families, some going days without water, forced to walk long distances or work through the night just to fill a bucket.
Balesa isula amenshi 23 hours. Elo inendanwa. Ninkorwa. Elo nomba 03. Elo amenshi ya isa ndeta pa amenshi. Elo na risonkela amenshi. Na biunshi kweteko. So echiba tumoneko. Elo 3. Tulawatumina amafoni bachambeshi. ndimo amenshi ngayayisa tulaba tumina amafoni twati apa amenshi alefuma mu musebo tabafu akuwamya muhambo okupita mu matipa badi amenshi panga ndatapati nomba nishi nifinshi.
Now, the traditional leader is appealing to government to step in, urging increased funding for the water utility company to end the midnight rush and restore a steady supply to KASAMA homes.
Nganinda ramashachepa babike kolupia babuteko kulya kuchile chipani cha amenshi. Pakwe batina amenshi ebumi bw'abantu. Amenshi ebukankala bwa muntu nse. So tulelo mbako obuteko na kuchilisha ubulipo. Butubombeleko kulifi. Pakotina ifo twasekelela. Ifo nga twasekelela nishinabe na basekelela pabutungulushi bwabo.
In Mlenga Hills, water isn't just a service, it is survival. And for now, families are still waiting for the taps to turn on in broad daylight. Chanda Wellington, reporting for Crown in KASAMA.
Zambia's annual inflation rate for the month of May 2026 has reduced to 6.6% from 6.8% recorded in April 2026. This decline is mainly driven by price movements in selected food items. Speaking during the monthly inflation update, Zamstat Statistician General Sheila Mudenda says a reduction in inflation was attributed to changes in prices of cereals such as breakfast mielie meal, roller meal, grain and rice, as well as vegetables, dried beans, sweet potatoes, sugar, cooking oil, and eggs. Here's a report.
Annual inflation has continued to reduce within the government's desired target band of between 6 to 8%. Latest figures released by the Zambia Statistics Agency, ZAMSTATS, show that annual inflation for May 2026 reduced to 6.6% from 6.8% recorded in April. ZAMSTATS Statistician General Sheila Mudenda says the reduction has mainly been attributed to price movements in food items such as mielie meal, rice, vegetables, dried beans, sugar, cooking oil, and eggs.
The annual overall inflation for May 2026 was recorded at 6.6% from 6.8% recorded in April 2026. And this has been on account of price movements in food items. And as you know, this means that on average, prices of goods and services increased by 6.6% between May 2025 and May 2026.
Meanwhile, annual non-food inflation slightly increased to 6.1% from 6.0% recorded in April due to price movements in pharmaceutical products, fuels, and lubricants. Ms. Mudenda has also disclosed that monthly overall inflation for May 2026 was recorded at 0.2%, down from 0.7% recorded in April.
Annual non-food inflation increased to 6.1% for the month of May 2026 from 6.0% recorded in April 2026. And this was on account of mainly price movements in pharmaceutical products, fuels and lubricants such as diesel, paraffin, engine oil, lubricants, brake fluids, as well as price movements in hammer milling charge.
However, these reductions are yet to be felt by citizens.
There is always a lag to come and see that impact, and there is a way you measure impact. You are talking about the welfare of the people, and we measure that through the living conditions monitoring survey, household budget surveys. So we are yet to conduct a detailed HBS this year to just start seeing how these impacts in the short term and long run are affecting the welfare of the households. So basically it's a lag issue. We can't see immediately what happens to the welfare.
Reporting for Crown TV News in Lusaka, Chanda Mwango.
Now, concerns have emerged among stakeholders over the continued withdrawal of independent candidates from parliamentary and local government elections, with some describing the trend as a threat to Zambia's democratic principles. This follows a growing number of candidates from the ruling party going unopposed after their competitors pulled out of the race ahead of the polls. Governance activist Bremna Changala says the development should not be celebrated in a democratic society, warning that competitive elections are a key pillar of democracy. Mr. Changala says the withdrawal of candidates deprives citizens of the opportunity to freely choose their leaders through a competitive electoral process. Here's a report.
Concerns are mounting among governance stakeholders over the increasing number of independent candidates withdrawing from parliamentary and local government elections, a development they have warned can weaken Zambia's democratic foundations. The trend has seen several candidates from the ruling party emerging unopposed after their rival candidates pull out of the race. Governance activist Bremna Changala says the situation should not be celebrated in a democratic society, stressing that competitive elections remain one of the cornerstones of democracy. Mr. Changala says when candidates withdraw from elections, citizens are denied the opportunity to freely choose their preferred leaders through a fair and competitive electoral process. He says democracy thrives on participation, contestation, and the availability of alternative voices, adding that unopposed candidates risk creating voter apathy and reducing public confidence in the electoral system. Mr. Changala has since called on relevant stakeholders to safeguard the integrity of the electoral process and ensure that elections remain genuinely competitive. Meanwhile, the non-governmental gender organization Coordinating Council NGOCC has also weighed in on the matter, with board chairperson Beauty Katere expressing concern over the increasing reports of candidates withdrawing in the ongoing electoral process. Ms. Katere says while some candidates may voluntarily withdraw for personal or strategic reasons, the growing pattern of withdrawals across multiple areas raises legitimate public concern over possible intimidation, coercion, fear, or undue political pressure. She says such developments risk undermining public confidence in the integrity, competitiveness, and inclusiveness of Zambia's democratic process. Ms. Katere has since urged electoral stakeholders, political players, and law enforcement agencies to uphold democratic values and ensure that all candidates are able to participate freely and fairly without fear or intimidation. As the August general elections draw closer, stakeholders have warned that democracy must not only be defended at the ballot box, but also protected in the political space leading to it. They have said elections lose their meaning when citizens are denied genuine choices, stressing that a democracy without competition risks becoming democracy in name only. For Crown TV News, Tawanda Munyuki.
Government has warned against the use of offensive and defamatory campaign songs during the political campaigns, saying the trend threatens national unity and the rule of law. Ministry of Information and Media Permanent Secretary Tabo Kawana says political campaigns should focus on policies and development issues instead of spreading unverified allegations against individuals or institutions. Mr. Kawana says accusations involving tribalism, discrimination, and other serious claims should only be handled by competent courts of law, and not through campaign songs or propaganda materials. Here's a report.
Political campaigns continue to heat up and take center stage across the country. Government is warning political players against using defamatory and offensive campaign songs. Minister of Information and Media Permanent Secretary Tabo Kawana says campaigns should focus on policies and national development instead of spreading unverified allegations against individuals and institutions. Mr. Kawana says serious accusations such as tribalism and discrimination should be left to the courts of law and not be used as campaign songs.
It is not correct to start churning out songs or campaign songs that are calling your competition, your political opponents as Satanists, as tribalists, as dividing the country based on tribalism, based on Satanism, and referring so badly to other people. That is not correct. I woke up this morning and I was listening to a campaign song for I don't know which political party it is, whether it's Tonse or whether it's, but the song is talking about Honorable Brian Mundubile and Honorable Makebi Zulu and so on. And it's a very divisive.
Mr. Kawana since urged political parties, candidates and supporters to exercise responsibility and ensure campaign messages promote peace, fairness, national unity and issue-based campaigns.
We run a country that is united. We owe all a duty to foster unity in the country. It is not correct to begin to accuse others of tribalism, others of satanism and so on, and things that you cannot prove, and you deliberately get them and put them in a song. Even you as artists ought to be careful, because if tomorrow you are told you are the one who sang that these people are satanists, these people are tribalists, these people are this, they are that, and you are asked to and put to proof, you will fail. So some of these things,
Reporting for Crown TV News in Osaka, Chanda Mwango.
Meanwhile, on the Copperbelt Province Commanding Officer Mwala Yui has warned political parties against, as campaigns kick off on the Copperbelt Province, that no party will outsmart the police if they fail to operate within the law. Speaking to the media in Ndola, Mr. Yui urged all politicians to give the police 7 days notice before holding public gatherings so that officers can provide security during campaigns and rallies. Mr. Yui added that those who try to act funny with the police on the Copperbelt should expect the law to be enforced without compromise. Details in this report.
The campaign atmosphere in Ndola district is heating up with Bwanamkubwa and Kabush constituencies at the center of it. Both constituencies have seen tough contests before, but this year, new names and familiar faces have stepped onto the pitch with one goal: to represent the people. The Bush constituents, the contest has taken a new turn after Melvin's Mangorwa recently resigned as Copperbelt UPND Provincial Secretary General, and now he has intensified his campaigns, having stepped down from the party, standing as an independent candidate and taking his message directly to the voters' door.
David and the rest of the people and everyone here, this shouldn't be surprising, because we are people that are on the ground. The people understand who we are, and we understand the people of Kabushi. We are not here to pretend that we are this when we are this. We live with the people, and the people understand us. So coming out like this for us to be able to launch this campaign is basically just calling our own people, family, please come along. Now we have started the campaign. Just like I said earlier on, to say, well, when one may try to buy people, but it's not sustainable. Yes. You need to be connected to the people. You need to be connected to the people, and that's who we are.
Across both constituencies, candidates are going door to door, holding community meetings and pressing their case in markets and neighborhoods. The message from all sides is similar. With that being said, the police on the Copperbelt are also on high alert. Copperbelt Provincial Commanding Officer Mwala Yui has warned all political parties to conduct campaigns within the law. He said police will not tolerate any form of violence or misconduct from any party trying to act smart.
In this province, you will see the morale is high. Officers are expectant to deliver a free and fair election without violence. We don't want any violence ourselves. But who are we if other people want to bring it to us? To appeal to our colleagues out there, political parties, politicians, to observe the provisions of Public Order Act 113 of the laws of Zambia.
Reporting for CrownTV News, I'm David Konda in Ndola District, Copperbelt Province.
Police in Lusaka have picked up former Zambia Intelligence Director General XAVIER CHUNGU for questioning. In a statement made available to Crown TV News, Police Public Relations Officer Godfrey Chilabi said Mr. CHUNGU was brought in for questioning this morning in connection with an ongoing investigation. Mr. Chilabi added that further updates would be provided in due course. Earlier, Mr. CHUNGU's media team also confirmed that the former intelligence chief, who is contesting the presidency under the Liberal Democrats Party, was picked up by police around 0740 hours and taken to police headquarters. According to his media team, the reasons for his detention were not immediately known. During a recent interview, Mr. CHUNGU stated that there was no corruption that could be committed by an intelligence operative in the course of duty. He was responding to concerns surrounding past corruption allegations against him. The United National Independence Party, UNIP, says it has lost more than 30 million kwacha between 2023 and 2026 due to the alleged illegal collection of funds by individuals masquerading as office bearers. Speaking during a media briefing in Lusaka, UNIP Acting Secretary General Reverend Alfred Banda expressed concern over what he described as the continued unauthorized activities of individuals falsely claiming to represent the party. Reverend Banda urged those involved to cease their activities immediately, stating that their actions have caused significant financial losses to the former ruling party. Here's a report.
This is a serious allegation, and we urge the police.
The United National Independent Party, UNIP, says it has lost more than 30 million kwacha between 2023 and 2026 due to the alleged illegal collection of funds by individuals masquerading as party office bearers. Speaking during a media briefing in Lusaka, UNIP Acting Secretary General Reverend Alfred Banda expressed concerns over what he described as continued unauthorized activities of individuals falsely claiming to represent the party. Reverend Banda urged those involved to cease their activities immediately, stating that their actions have caused significant financial losses to the former ruling party. He explained that the said individuals have allegedly been collecting rental income from several UNIP-owned properties without the authorization of party leadership.
We have incontestable evidence that the same group has been illegally receiving monies in form of rentals from multiple UNIP-owned properties. They are using these funds to carry out these clandestine meetings and activities.
It disclosed that UNIP has since initiated legal proceedings against the individuals involved, adding that the matter is being pursued from both civil and criminal perspectives due to the seriousness of the alleged offenses. Reverend Banda also noted that the same group failed to successfully file presidential nominations papers at Mulungushi International Conference Center, a development he said exposed their lack of legitimacy and authority within the party ranks.
I wish to make it known that we have commenced litigation proceedings which would take on the criminality angle considering the gravity of the matter.
The party has since called on members, supporters and the general public to recognize retired Lieutenant Colonel Henry Miyoba as a legitimate UNIP presidential candidate.
Please don't divide the country. Please don't divide the party. There are no faction in UNIP. You are hearing it from me as national chairman. We have one president, that's Lieutenant Colonel Henry Miyoba. All these others, to me, they are just noisemakers in the compound.
Anton Chamba, Crown TV News, Lusaka.
As unique presidential candidates at the ECZ nomination.
We now move to the letter to the President. Remember that you can write a letter to the President and it will be read in our grand news at 18:30. You can SMS or WhatsApp your letter to the number 0974 314 807. But please avoid the use of vulgar language. Tonight's letter to the President reads,
Dear Mr. President, I'm deeply concerned about the plight of retired civil servants. I retired in 2023 under the Public Service Pension Scheme, and I was hopeful that I would receive my pension within the 6 months you promised. Unfortunately, this did not happen. I am grateful that I was finally placed on the monthly pensions payroll in May 2025. I am a teacher by profession and retired from Chingola district. However, to date, I have not received my leave terminal benefits or repatriation allowance. I also applied for the ZRA domestic tax rebate and I was given a reference number. After several months of waiting, I was informed that not all retirees are privileged to receive it. Your Excellency, my humble appeal is that entitlements that are difficult to access or come with many conditions should either be improved or reconsidered. The stress retirees go through during the application process, coupled with the endless come and check responses, is unbearable. I kindly appeal to improve service delivery because these delays have become a source of corruption in many institutions. May you continue to work well and may God bless you, Mr. President. This letter is coming from Miss Exuda Mwenya from Chingola.
Weather forecast for Thursday, 28th May 2026. Lusaka, Eastern, Muchinga and Northern provinces, including the eastern parts of Southern and Central provinces. In the morning, sunny, windy at times and cool to mild at first, developing few clouds by mid-morning. Minimum temperatures ranging between 8 and 18 degrees Celsius. Afternoon, partly cloudy, slightly windy and warm to hot. Maximum temperatures ranging between 25 and 30 degrees Celsius. Evening, few clouds, windy at times and warm to mild. This weather forecast is produced by the Zambia Meteorological Department under the Ministry of Green Economy and Environment. We'll take a break.
On a busy day in Lusaka, right in the middle of a vlogging, Mr. Simon Mwela's phone battery died. Well, he knew what to do next. He called Zambia's top cell phone and accessories dealer. In a flash, problem solved. Across town, Dr. Siatwambo was getting ready for a presentation when he realized that his PA forgot something. A quick call to Mobile City and his projector screen was delivered in no time. Meanwhile, Vana Fiasasa was about to leave for the village when she remembered she needed a phone upgrade. One call to Mobile City and a new phone arrived just in time. Vana Fiasasa snapping a selfie before hitting the road? But wait, I thought the other guys were in a hurry. For free, fast and reliable delivery, trust Mobile City. Beware of scammers. Mobile City Delivery. You order, we deliver.
To every woman, you are important. In every stage of life, in every space you stand, in every journey, across every background, across every generation, across every path you walk. Different paths, one strength. On the 30th of May, 2026, we run together.
For the girl child.
For the women.
For Zambia!
Welcome back. The Grand News continues. In business, the Zambia Union of Tanker Drivers and Allied Workers has issued a 14-day ultimatum to oil marketing companies demanding a return to the dipping method of fuel measurement during deliveries. Union President Shift Mwanga has warned that failure to resolve the issue could result in a nationwide strike by tanker drivers. He has also called for dipping to be adopted as the primary measurement standard, with flow meters used as a secondary method. We have more in the following report.
Scores of tanker drivers across Zambia have threatened to down tools over what they describe as ongoing fuel measurement disputes during fuel deliveries into the depots. Addressing the media on Thursday morning, Zambia Union of Tanker Drivers and Allied Workers President Shift Mwanga said tanker drivers are increasingly being accused of fuel theft due to inconsistencies arising from the use of fuel flow meters during offloading. Mr. Mwanga explained that the use of two different fuel measurement systems has created variations in the fuel readings, often resulting in unfair allegations against drivers over suspected fuel losses.
In 2013, they haven't changed any meter. And as we are calibrating these trucks every year, paying the money, transporters, they have complied to pay to have these dip charts. But these dip charts, even some transporters, they are complaining they are not working because we are facing the same problem. Why? They are submitting us to same meters which they have refused. That's why we have called you here to see it that we ask the president himself to intervene on this matter, because these drivers, they are the voters for the president. So, which means these OMCs, they are stealing from us, daylight robbery, which we are tired.
The union has since issued a 14-day ultimatum to the oil marketing companies and government to reinstate the traditional dipping method of measuring fuel during deliveries in a bid to resolve the growing disputes surrounding fuel discrepancies.
We are just tired of these people. They are stealing from us. That we can't lie. I came here, I made a lot of exercise here, myself. We had 500 liters of diesel shortage, loading from here and offloading here, 500 liters. That's why we decided to come up with these papers. But still, transporters, they are saying us, OMCs, they are deducting us on meter. We have got a contract which is saying you have to offload by meter. We want to see that contract. Us as the drivers, we have to be part of negotiating on that contract to see it that they have to follow these dip charts. Yeah.
And Union General Secretary Bodi Mawaso has called on government to urgently intervene, warning that the situation is quickly getting out of hand.
We are only having variances with their meters. Mind you, we load from a different meter in Tanzania, but the good part is that they dip. we come to offload from a different meter here in Zambia, they dip. But when they dip, the variances, in fact, there are no variances. Variances are only on meters.
Mr. also further warned that tanker drivers across the country would withdraw their labor if the matter is not resolved within a stipulated period of time. He added that failure to address the dispute could disrupt fuel transportation operations and negatively affect fuel supply across the country. The drivers have also raised concern over the engagement of international tanker drivers to deliver fuel to the end users.
There's some drivers, they are refusing to offroad because our duty is that we have to bring fuel from Dar es Salaam to offroad in these government depots. Then our brothers who are doing local, they load from here to end user.
Meanwhile, Mr. Muwanga has appealed to government to award local drivers tenders to transport Jet Air 1 fuel to airports, citing national security. Tanker drivers play a critical role in Zambia's fuel distribution network, transporting petroleum products from storage depots to filling stations across the country. Blessings Mkandewe reporting, Crown TV News, Lusaka.
Government has finalized the procurement process for the development of 2-megawatt solar plants in all the 156 constituencies across the country under the Presidential Constituency Energy Initiative, PCEI. Speaking during a site visit and preparatory engagements for the groundbreaking ceremony in Eastern Province, Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development Permanent Secretary Technical Services, Nicholas Peary, says government secured contractors for the implementation of 312 megawatts of solar power generation countrywide at a total estimated cost of about $232 million. Mr. Peary says the development follows the pronouncement made by President Hakainde Hichilema in the late 2025 to invest in renewable energy infrastructure aimed at enhancing national energy security through decentralized power generation.
We are here and very happy to announce that the procurement process of the 2-megawatt solar plants per constituency for the 156 constituencies has now come to its finality. And so where we are sitting, we have secured contractors for 312 megawatts across the country for a project whose budget is around $232 million. And very soon, in the course of this coming week, maybe the next 7-8 days, we will be announcing or unveiling the contractors that have been contracted to deliver this project. And the average cost per megawatt is slightly below 750,000 megawatts per cost. Those that understand these projects will attest that this particular procurement has met all the three criteria that the President has always guided, that procurement should meet the quality of designs and products, should be timely, but also should be reasonable in terms of pricing. So for 750 megawatts per $750,000 per megawatt for this project, it's a good deal. And so now we are at a point that we are making preparations for the groundbreaking ceremony of this particular milestone project. And so obviously it is important that we do visit some sites just to look at how ready we are as local authorities to implement this particular project.
They say a house built without trust can never stand for long. For Lydia Piri of Kabanana, that painful reality has pushed her to the courtroom, where she is seeking to end what she describes as a marriage filled with betrayal, humiliation, and emotional torment. Piri has dragged her husband, Gideon Mumba, to court seeking divorce after allegedly enduring years of cheating, excessive drinking, and disrespectful behavior. She told the court that what once began as a union built on love has now turned into a source of heartbreak and embarrassment, leaving her with no option but to walk away. Kundeji has more in this report.
They say a man who chases every skirt eventually tears his own trousers. Well, that saying seems to be walking hand in hand with Gideon Mumba's marriage, as his wife Lydia Piri finally decides that enough is enough after so many years of alleged cheating, beer drinking, and behavior that leaves their home looking more like a tavern meeting point than a matrimonial house. Standing in the middle of heartbreak and frustration is Lydia, a 31-year-old woman of Kabanana area who dragged her husband Gideon, that's 7 years of age, to court, seeking divorce after discovering that a goat that likes wandering eventually gets lost. According to Lydia, when the two got married in 2019, everything looked normal and peaceful. Trouble allegedly began in 2021 after Gideon developed a serious love affair with alcohol and nightlife. Lydia tells courts that after the couple bought a car, her husband suddenly started behaving like Lusaka has no lodges left to visit. Sleeping out becomes part of his daily timetable, and whenever she questions him, the man allegedly responds with anger and public embarrassment. They say a guilty dog barks the loudest. Lydia explains how her husband becomes defensive anytime she asks simple questions. But the most worst moments comes when Lydia returns from nursing attachments, expecting to find peace at home, only to allegedly discover that their matrimonial mattress turned into what can only be described as a sleepover conference. According to her testimony, she found out that 3 women slept there after her husband allegedly hosts them in their home. Now, as the saying goes, some men don't hide their cheating, they advertise it. Lydia tells court that she separated from Gideon in 2024, but later reconciled with him, hoping that maybe a person who falls into a pit once learns to watch the road. But unfortunately, according to her, the reconciliation changes nothing at all. She explains that Gideon even joined a singles group when they were on separation, providing once again that a person who refuses to change will always carry yesterday's habits into tomorrow. In March 2026, Lydia says that her husband left home claiming he is traveling to Solwezi, but neighbors later allegedly spotted him comfortably seated at a Kabanana bar with another woman enjoying life. As another common saying would go, neighbors are free CCTV cameras. Lydia further tells the court that whenever Gideon wants to communicate with her, he allegedly uses another woman's phone identified as Margaret, who allegedly happens to be her girlfriend. Meanwhile, despite living under the same roof, the couple have gone for an entire month without intimacy. Well, a coin will always have 2 sides, and in his own defense, Gideon insists the real problem in their marriage is lack of communication, claiming that Lydia does not listen to his advice and simply no longer wants him anymore. But as many would say, communication alone cannot repair a broken heart that is tired of disappointment. After listening to both sides, Magistrate Lewis Mumba finally decided that enough is enough and granted the divorce. Custody of the child was awarded to Lydia, while Gideon has been ordered to pay 300 kwacha monthly child maintenance for 12 months and contribute 60% towards the child's welfare. And just like that, another marriage ends with a lesson many people already know: when respect leaves the door, love follows behind it. Kundej. Sachangalesu. Ngandu. Reporting for Crown TV News in Lusaka.
Government has launched a digital payment system for local authorities aimed at improving service delivery, transparency, and revenue collection across the country. Speaking during a media briefing, Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development Permanent Secretary in charge of administration, Dr. Gabriel Pollen, says the initiative is part of government's broader digital transformation agenda being implemented in collaboration with the Ministry of Finance and National Planning and the Smart Zambia Institute. Dr. Pollen notes that the system will allow residents and business owners to conveniently pay for services such as property rates, business levies, fire certificates, health permits, and market fees online using mobile money platforms and Visa cards. He says the e-council system, which is expected to be widely rolled out by June 30th, 2026, will enhance accountability as all transactions will be electronically captured and traceable. Dr. Pollen adds that Lusaka City Council is among 8 local authorities selected in the first phase of implementation alongside Ndola, Kitwe, Chilanga, and Kalumbila councils.
Through this initiative, residents and business owners will now be able to pay for services such as property rates, business levies, outdoor advertising, personal levies, fire certificates, health permits, market levies, bus station fees, and ablution block fees seamlessly online. This represents a significant shift from manual processes to efficient, transparent, and accessible digital platforms. Ladies and gentlemen, this development is fully aligned with the broader vision of the government towards digital transformation. This one being spearheaded by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, working in close collaboration with the Ministry of Finance and National Planning and the Smart Zambia Institute. The e-council system, which is scheduled to be rolled out more broadly and widely on the 30th of June 2026, is integrating council services onto the government service bus, ensuring interoperability, efficiency, and transparency across all participating councils. And Lusaka City Council's initiative today is therefore a practical demonstration of what the future holds for all local authorities in Zambia. All local authorities will be digitized. All local authority services will eventually be digitized. And this is just the beginning.
The Prisons Care and Counseling Association, PRISCA, has described the recent appointment of judges to Zambia's superior courts as timely, saying the move comes at a critical period when demand for efficient disposal of cases remains high across the country. The organization says increasing the number of judges will help strengthen the administration of justice and improve efficiency within the judiciary. PRISCA has since commended the administration of President Hakainde Hichilema for the appointments, describing the development as a demonstration of government's continued commitment towards strengthening justice delivery in Zambia. Here's a report.
The shortage of judges in Zambia has for a long time affected the efficient delivery of justice, resulting in delayed court proceedings, growing case backlogs, and limited access to judicial services, especially in remote provinces. In many instances, the absence of adequate judicial personnel has placed pressure on the courts and slowed down the dispensation of justice for many citizens. It is against this background that the Prisons Care and Counseling Association has commended President Hakainde Hichilema for swearing in judges to the superior courts, describing the move as a significant step towards strengthening the country's justice delivery system. PRISCA Executive Director Godfrey Malembeka says the swearing in of the additional judges is timely, as it comes at a period when demand for the efficient disposal of cases remains high across the country.
The swearing in and appointments of judges, a good number of judges have been appointed. We celebrate that because this is going to help us reduce the backlog of persons awaiting trial. This, for us, is a decongestion strategy, and this will speed up the process of accessing justice by many Zambians.
Meanwhile, Dr. Malembeka has appealed to the Chief Justice to ensure that each province has at least 2 resident judges in order to guarantee continuity in the administration of justice whenever one judge is unavailable. According to Dr. Malembeka, such a move will help improve efficiency, reduce case backlogs, and ensure uninterrupted access to justice for citizens across the country.
Our appeal, therefore, goes to the Chief Justice, who we know very well that he will consider sending one or two in our provinces, the rural parts of Zambia, where we already have judges that are staying there, resident judges that are placed there. That's another achievement. But our appeal is that we want to see all the rural provinces at least having a minimum of 2 judges, so that every day they are reporting, and that will help a lot in attending to those appearance and day-to-day cases in our High Court.
For Crown TV News, Tawanda Munyuki.
The Ministry of Community Development and Social Services has commenced the distribution of more than 200,000 feature phones to identified elderly beneficiaries without phones under the Social Cash Transfer (SCT) program countrywide. According to the ministry, the intervention forms part of government's broader commitment to advancing an inclusive digital transformation agenda aimed at enabling beneficiaries to receive their social cash transfer directly through digital platforms. Currently, the social cash transfer program supports a total of 1,555,840 beneficiary households across 116 districts, of which 89% are already receiving their payments through mobile money platforms and banking systems. Ministry Principal Public Relations Officer Glenda Nachinga says the ongoing exercise is expected to further enhance efficiency, accountability, transparency, and convenience in the delivery of social cash transfer nationwide.
The inconveniences that they've been facing, where they've had to ask for mobile phones from other people to check as to whether they've received their social cash transfers or not. And this has exposed them to many risks of exploitation, and also in some instances the beneficiaries tend to lose their SIM cards, which further disrupts their access to these funds. We are optimistic as government that this exercise will enhance transparency and accountability, and also provide the much needed effective service delivery where our people receive their social cash transfers directly.
We take our final break. When we return, we look at sports news. We'll be right back.
The Zambia Travel Expo ZATEX is back. Stronger, more connected, more impactful. Welcome to ZATEX 2026 from June 4th to the 6th, where opportunity meets authenticity. Driven by the spirit of Zambia moves you. This premier event once again brings together global tourism buyers, investors, and tourism leaders to one of Africa's most compelling destinations. On June 4th, make meaningful interactions with tourism buyers at the Buyers Day, curated business-to-business engagements. On June 5th, join us at the ZATEX official opening to be officiated by President Hakainde Hichilema. On June 6th, Consumer Day, a vibrant showcase of culture, travel experiences, and live entertainment. ZATEX 2026 is back, showcasing the very best of Zambia. Register at www.zatex.org. ZATEX 2026, building authentic and sustainable tourism through partnerships.
The stage is set for more thrilling drama, canning new characters, unexpected plot twists, scandals, more laughter, some love, more seduction, mystery and intrigue.
Master Kalanka, Mulibe Mufuma Mapolo Chombombela Leosife Bada Stamanga. This is Stamanga.
Everyone wonders why I'm always jovial and happy. Every day, every time. At work, even under pressure. At play, always under control. Even with Bay, I always shine. And today, I get to share my secret companion, Best Kombucha. Gives me the energy but also boosting my immune system as I go by my day-to-day activities.
Toileta mami we best kombucha sonwemu. Toileta daddy we best kombucha sonwemu. Iye na ni best kombucha. Best kombucha. Iye na ni mwa kombucha.
Now you know.
Best kombucha. Iye na ni best kombucha. Nutricom best kombucha.
Ngeli na mansanka wofuta chinaimba nyabo. Wofunta bati wanatiuza. Baziga wanatiuza. Wafunta chinapatafuza chinaenda nabo. Chinaona nabo. Taimba nabo. Lano njise. Oh. Tia ni wacheya. Tia ni wacheya. Tia ni wacheya. Tia ni wacheya.
Katinga ka spoon ka salt ka jobo kafaka pamanje wambo penda ma Christos. I think ndi maezi.
Yani mwangarama mu industry. Well, to say the truth, trying to create a home for dancehall, because dancehall doesn't really have a home in Zambia, you know. Yeah. I'll say something. If I was a hip hop artist, I can go and sign with Apa Iliso.
You find out that the manpower is number one.
This sports news is sponsored by Nutricom, the manufacturers of Best Kombucha and Divine Power Kombucha.
Welcome back. In sports news this evening, Copper Princesses arrive in Lubumbashi ahead of their second FIFA Women's World Cup qualifying tie. Before we head into the details, here's a word from our sponsors.
Everyone wonders why I'm always jovial and happy. Every day, every time. At work, even under pressure. At play, always under control. Even with Bay, I always shine. And today, I get to share my secret companion, Best Kombucha. Gives me the energy but also boosting my immune system as I go by my day-to-day activities.
Toileta mami we best kombucha sonwemu. Toileta daddy we best kombucha sonwemu. Iye na ni best kombucha. Best kombucha. Iye na ni mwa kombucha.
Now you know.
Best kombucha. Iye na ni best kombucha. Nutricom best kombucha.
The sports news in detail. Copper Princesses have arrived with a 5-0 lead in the Under-17 World Cup qualifier. The Zambia women's Under-17 national team took a short bus ride to Lubumbashi ahead of the second leg of the FIFA Women's World Cup Morocco 2026 qualifying tie. Zambia carries a 5-0 advantage from the first leg played on the 23rd of May at the Levi Mwanawasa Stadium in Ndola. The return fixture is scheduled for the 31st of May at Stade Frederick Kibasa Maliba in Lubumbashi. Zambia will be aiming to complete the job away from home and secure a place in the third qualifying round. The winner on aggregate will face the victor between Ethiopia and Burundi. FIFA Secretary General Matthias Grafström has congratulated newly appointed FA's Chief Executive Officer Charles Chakatazia. In a congratulatory letter to Chakatazia, Grafström says FIFA was looking forward to working with a new FA's General Secretary as he takes up his new role. Chakatazia was appointed FA's General Secretary on Sunday, taking over from Machacha Shapande, who steps aside on mutual terms. The new General Secretary previously served as CEO at Incana, Cabo Warriors, and NAPSA Stars. That item brings us to the end of sports news for this evening. But before we go, another word from our sponsors.
This sports news is sponsored by Nutricom, the manufacturers of Best Kombucha and Divine Power Kombucha.
We've now come to the end of the grand news for this evening, Thursday, 28 May 2026. Before we go, a recap of the headlines. KASAMA residents in water blues. Inflation continues to drop. Continued withdrawal of candidates from electoral rates, robbing citizens of alternative choices. And in sports news, Copa Princesses arrive in Lubumbashi ahead of their second FIFA Women's World Cup qualifying tie. We end the grand news for this evening. My name is Rachael Chipwende. Thank you for watching. Good night.